At this time, I'd like to introduce Senator Angus King with some words for the graduate.
I can't come to Bethel without thinking of the snowman. They built the world's tallest snowman, and for some reason it was called Angus, King of the Mountain. And the reporter called me the next day and said, "What do you think of being named for the world's tallest snowman?" And I said, "Well, I guess it could have been a sewage treatment plant." I am not making this up. The next day I got a registered letter from a guy that ran a sewage treatment plant in York County. He said, "You just set the cause of sanitary engineering back 50 years. I learned to be a little careful about the jokes I made. I'm going to talk to them, so excuse me, or you can work on your email, or, but I want to talk to these guys. Okay, this is not going to be a normal speech with a beginning, middle, and end. This is, I tried to think, what do you say with the group of people who graduate? This is 10 things I wish somebody had told me when I was 18. Okay? So the good part about the speech is you'll know exactly where we are. When you get number 5 or halfway through. Okay, here's number 1. Take more risks. Take more risks. Now, I don't mean to be stupid, with a motorcycle and beer and stuff. I mean, try to do things that maybe you're not so sure you can do. The biggest thing that holds you back is this little man that sits on your shoulder and says, "You can't do that." Yes, you can. You can try, you can reach, and it's okay to fail. Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey player, once said, "I miss 100% of the shots I don't take." See, this movie is he took me literally. I miss 100% of the shots I don't take. Aaron Judge, greatest baseball player right now, makes an out 2 out of every 3 times he goes to bat. There's a multi-million-dollar industry in this country putting erasers on pencils. That means it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. If you don't fail every now and then, you're not trying hard enough. And here's the best piece of advice I ever got. I was just about your age, maybe a little bit older. This old guy said to me, "When you get to be my age, you're going to regret things about your life. See that you regret the things you did and not the things you didn't do." Get it? The saddest words in the English language are, "If only. If only I had tried." See that you regret the things you did and not the things you didn't do. So take more risks. That's number 1. Number 2, attitude really is everything. It makes all the difference. You've been to a restaurant, the server comes up and says, "How are you? How are you doing tonight? What would you like?" And you say, "Well, how's the meatloaf?" The server says, "Oh, it's great. I tried it just last night." The next day, you go to the same restaurant, a different server comes up and says, "What do you want?" "How's the meatloaf?" "I don't know." It's the same restaurant. It's a difference in attitude, which you can carry around with you. I go to St. Paul's Church in Brunswick, Maine, and I had dinner on a Tuesday night with a friend, and he said, "Angus, I hate to tell you this, but we're leaving St. Paul's. We're leaving the church." I said, "How come?" He said, "Because it's not very friendly. People don't talk to us at church after church. You don't really feel part of the congregation. It's not a very friendly place." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." Friday night, I'm not making this up, Friday night we had dinner with another family that went to the church. This fellow was a military guy at Bath Fireworks. And in the middle of dinner he said, "Angus, you know why we love St. Paul's Church? Because it's so friendly. It's so warm. People reached out to us. We know everybody. We made some really good friends. We've only been here a couple of years." It was the same church, the same preacher, the same hymns, the same liturgy, everything. It was attitude that made all the difference. Attitude made all the difference. In fact, here's a story of a little boy on Christmas morning. Christmas morning, little boy under the tree. There's a big pile of presents. He's opening them up. He opens up all these presents. All the presents, opens all the presents. You know this kid. And he looks up and says, Is this all? Is this all? He's not very happy. Another kid comes down on Christmas morning, there's nothing under the tree. He looks around, there's a little pile of horse manure in one corner of the living room. He's excited. He's bouncing off the walls. He's beside himself. His mother says, "Why are you so happy?" He says, "Because I know there's a pony in here somewhere." That's attitude. Okay? Now, here's the little saying, and this is true. It's your attitude and not your aptitude that determines your altitude. Say that 10 times. It's your attitude and not your aptitude that determines your altitude. So, attitude really is everything. Okay. Number 3. I don't know what you're all going to be doing this summer. Treat your first job as if it's the most important you'll ever have. Because that's how you make your reputation. That's how you get a recommendation. That's how you impress people. Go to work early. Stay late. Under-promise and over-deliver. Let me tell you another story about a kid who wanted to work in a political campaign, and he went to Boston right out of high school. He was 18 years old, exactly your age. And he got a job in the political campaign of a guy running for president. And his job was making copies. He was a Xerox kid. Now, I say Xerox, but then they don't know what I'm talking about. You know what his job was making copies. But he was the best copier kid they ever saw. He came in early, he stayed late, he did everything that he was asked. Now, his candidate lost, so he went on to college. 4 years later, another guy gets elected president of the United States. One of the people he worked for in that campaign 4 years before ended up in the White House. And he said, "Let's find that kid that was so good at making copies for us, because he was really a good kid. He was engaged. He was doing, and it wasn't a very important job, right? But he was really good at it. He paid attention to it. So he got hired, brought to Washington. 2 years later, he ended up personal assistant to the chief of staff of the President of the United States. I know that story is true because that's my oldest son. I had nothing to do with it. Now, don't wait till you're the vice president of the company, okay? If you're stocking shelves, if you're a lifeguard, if you're doing groundskeeping, if you're whatever you're doing, be the best. And it will make all the difference because it just starts you off on the right path. Okay, number 4, learn a really good handshake. That's it. All right, now, wait a minute though. Give me 7. Give me 7. He didn't give me 7. 5 fingers, 2 hours. Give me 7. 5 fingers, 2 hours. How are you? Now, ladies, that's it. I want a real handshake. No, this thing doesn't, this is gone now. Okay? Everybody, I got a good handshake. Here's why. Here's why. There's actually research on this. Almost every interview is over in the first 15 seconds. It is, because you make up your mind. And you make up your mind on things like handshake, eye contact, attitude, expression. If you make a bad impression in that first 15 seconds, you're digging yourself out of the hole the rest of the interview. If you make a good impression, you're flying. So, learn to make a good handshake and make that connection. Remember? Give me 7. 5 fingers, 2 eyes. Okay. Number 5. Halfway. I'm the only person standing between you and your diploma. 5. There is no such thing as a material or geographic cue. What I mean by that is, if you're not happy in Bethel, Maine, you're not going to be happy in Denver, or Boston, or Paris, or goodness knows, New York. You carry your happiness around with you. Don't think that you can sort of fix things by going somewhere else or by buying something. Although I have to say, my Harley's given me a lot of fun over the years. But seriously, there's no such thing as a geographic or material cure. Nothing you buy is going to make you happy. You got to figure it out You carry your happiness and your attitude around with you. That's number 5. Number 6, be honest. Be honest even if it hurts. Be honest even if it's a short-term disability. Because what you're doing is building your reputation. And I don't know if you've ever worked with concrete. You are building your reputation in concrete. Concrete is really soft when you first start to use it. It's mushy and soft, and you can put your initials in it, you can move it all around. But man, once it hardens up, you can't change it with a jackhammer. That's what you're doing, you see. So be honest. Be somebody that people can count on. And your name, well, let me back up. Everything you acquire in life can be taken away from you in some way, shape, or form. Car, house, everything can be taken away, except your good name. And that you can give away. Don't give it away. In the end, that's what you got. That's who you are. And don't give that away. Okay, practical piece of advice. When you go to an ATM, or your parents, same thing, take it, one of the pieces of cash, a $20 bill, and fold it up into a small piece and put it somewhere, hide it somewhere on your person. In your purse, in your wallet, in your shoe, and carry it around with you. Always have it as that backup. Because I guarantee within about a month, you're going to need it. You're going to say, thanks, Angus. Have that $20 bill hidden somewhere, and I've done this all my life. And it always comes in handy because you forget. And you need it for some good reason. Okay, number 8. You may want to write this down. When in doubt, don't get married. They're telling you something. Now the key phrase is when in doubt, right?
Right.
If it's not right, if it doesn't feel right, take it easy, slow down. And ladies, special message. He's not a project. Okay? If you don't love him like he is, you ain't going to be able to fix it. Okay. Number 9. This one I'm going to do from up here. Number 9. Is it okay that I stand up here? You ready for this? Don't put anything on the internet you don't want your grandmother to see on the front page. It's a digital tattoo. It never goes away. I don't know about you all, but I'm really glad I'm old enough so that all the stupid stuff I thought I did when I was 25 isn't on the internet. And I have a piece of really bad news for you. This is going to be hard. I hate to spoil your graduation. Employers know how to use Google. Okay? Nothing. That's really, seriously, think about it. Would it be okay if my grandmother saw this picture or this little funny paragraph? If it's, the answer is no, don't do it. Okay. Number 10. Take care of your family and your friends, because at the end they're all you got. The Beatles, they don't know the Beatles, you know the Beatles. The Beatles had the formula. The love you get is equal to the love you give. The love you get is equal to the love you give. If you want to be loved, and we all want to be loved, if you want to be cared for, if you want to be thought about, you have to think about other people. A couple of years from now, you're probably going to get a call. Hey, from one of your classmates, I'm getting married in Chicago. Can you come? And you're saying, oh man, Chicago, that's going to cost a lot of money, and I don't really have time. Go. Be there for them. Because you want them there for you. My wife Mary's dad died some years ago, and we went out to his funeral, and there sitting in the second row was one of our friends from Maine. We didn't know she was coming, but there she was. She was there for Mary. it makes so much difference. Remember your family and your friends. Love them and hold on to them. Treat them like you want to be treated. And that'll make a big difference in your life. Finally, Mary says I say finally too much, gives people's hopes. Finally, Godspeed to the Telstar class of 2023.